Alright guys, let's get this started with the music in the background of the main menu in Heart of the Swarm already got me worried. It is so tense. But, Jack, are you with me?
I am here.
Let's introduce the second pair of tonight's players. Now, just to note, I have just forbid myself from making a very bad joke while live. I'm quite sure that now people are intrigued and would like to hear it, but I will tell you after the stream. So anyway guys, the two bowlers of tonight we have here spawning the top right position on Kespa Neoplanet S. His name is Snute and he's playing for Team Liquid.
And in the bottom left hand corner of the screen, hailing from the land of Poland, we have Acer's Nerchio.
Rightio, and we will have an epic best of 9 ZVZ, the matchup which has changed a lot in Heart of the Swarm. And you know, with the changes to Infestor, the Mutas, all of that, you would say they are just small tweaks and adjustments. They have brought up so much in you know, in the multiplayer aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the Infestor. Making a projectile just really strengthens the Muta so much, and in addition to the fact that the Muta is now faster and heals twice as fast as a normal Zerg unit out of combat with the regenerative tissue, is really very, very strong. See a lot of Muta in mid game. You can also see some Roach Hydra kind of play. Nerchio did a little bit of that in IAM against Slivko.
Yeah, we have a hatchery first from Snute. Now on the other side of the map, Nerchio does this cool trick where he goes for the extractor first before the spawning pool, thus delays the first Zerglings, but as soon as the spawning pool is done, he will have 100 gas for his speed upgrade. So I think Nerchio, I would say it is within his comfort zone to do a little bit of poking and aggression at the start of the game. It may not, you know, win him the game or guarantee a kill or even damage, but if you do such a thing consistently, you will keep your opponent on his toes. And also, what this sometimes does is, you know, you may just get lucky and destroy something. So doing something like this is very worthwhile. And we'll see how
it's not as a big of a risk as doing something like an early pool, like a 10 pool or 9 pool or something like that, but it still allows you to be very aggressive without taking too much of the risk.
So, by the way, both of these players didn't have so much practice time of Heart of the Swarm as they would wish. I think one of the one of the most practicing players for Heart of the Swarm was actually Wytra, the old good grandfather Wytra. And alongside him, I think some of the Kespa players as well, because they have been skipping GSL lately. Or at least not practicing Wings of Liberty in favor of playing the Heart of the Swarm beta. So we'll see how it goes. We already have Nerchio Zerglings on the natural of Snute.
Wow, really nice Zergling micro there. Manages to escape, didn't lose a single Zergling during that fight. Really nice, well done.
So it is so quickly paced, really, guys. So once you micro 4 Zerglings against 4 Zerglings, you need to be wary which one of them is losing health, so then you select it very quickly and try to move away and then get back to the fight instantly. It requires lightning fast reflexes from the players.
You're going for a pretty standard ZVZ style, getting the speed with the first 100 gas and then getting the Bailing Nest with the next 50 gas. Bailing Nest also coming down from Nerchio, but a little bit delayed.
I think these Zerglings are nibbing at, you know, at an ice sculpture here, probably trying to mayhaps make a Santa out of it. But anyway, Snute defending well with a couple of Zerglings. He doesn't need more. Nerchio keeping the pressure. You know, obviously you cannot do much with 4 Zerglings. But what I like about Snute's play is that he has every possible attack path covered here. And if there are any shenanigans going on from Nerchio, any quick switch to just pure Zergling production, then he will know right away. And we have a couple of cancels. Snute was trying to sneak in few Banelings to the mineral line of Nerchio, but didn't succeed at that. Nerchio very active with the scouting, so we'll see how it goes from now. A big Zergling force on its way.
Yep, so defensive Banelings for Nerchio coming in, the offensive Banelings likely coming in very soon from Snute.
And we will see. Now, it seems Nerchio should be prepared enough. So let's just sum up what he has for his defense. He already has Banelings and Zerglings, so a lot of this comes down to the micro. If you manage to sneak in a Baneling amongst a huge group of Zerglings, this is when you deal the most damage in ZVZ. Nerchio getting a cancel on a Creep Tumor, no, we won't see that one blinking, because I'm not sure if you guys realize, but Creep Tumors actually have eyes, but we spoke about that many times. You are not a StarCraft 2 fan if you don't know that Creep Tumors have eyes. A little bit
and now that all of you know, you're all StarCraft 2 fans. Congratulations.
Exactly. We have just made how much? 400 StarCraft 2 fans, if you weren't already. Oh, nice Banelings. Oh, well, this one is still alive, and will it get... No, it gets the most. A very equal trade, and Snute just securing his third. And just, you know, keep in mind that while Snute has been struggling to secure the third, Nerchio has already secured his own, and exchanging, you know, a lot of Zerglings. So, the important thing to note about ZVZ is that often players go for free bases, yes, but that's mostly for the drone production. But anyway, there's a... Oh, there may be a cancel. Yes, there is. A cancel forced by Nerchio. So Snute is now down one base, while Nerchio's third is just about to be finished. A great victory, doesn't even lose a Zergling in that fight, but then he needs to be careful. A little bit sloppy, losing a
very nice Baneling hit there from Snute to get him back into it, and we're gonna have some more link battles here. A lot of Banelings warping in. God, a lot of Banelings morphing in.
Where did this come from? You know?
Yeah, you know, that would be the coolest thing in the world. Morph in Banelings, and to warp in Banelings just to have the power in the back of the base.
Zealots, and then you get a nice, nice. Nerchio moving in with a big force of Banelings. It will all boil down to the micro, and how well will Snute handle this? Right now he has to be careful about his spread of workers, and Zerglings alike. Uh-oh, so many workers got destroyed.
Oh. In the meantime, the third base is being taken down from Nerchio. Oh my god, so many Banelings. So many drones are now dead. A lot of them very, very weak. So I mean, Snute traded the third for that, but it looks like Nerchio is going to get Snute's third, so Snute very, very far behind at this point.
You know, with 25 workers killed, that's the half of what Nerchio had. What I was about to say earlier is that in ZVZ, a lot of it boils down to just having 50 workers and then maintaining a constant production of Zerglings. Later on, mutants, you don't anything more than that, really. Rarely games go above the 50 worker count in ZVZ, because it's not really necessary.
Yeah, really difficult to saturate the third properly in a ZVZ. And it looks like Snute's clawing his way back. He does have the mutas out, whereas Nerchio has no other tech in sight, just Ling Bane all the way. He's got such a big army advantage, it's going to be very difficult for Snute to come out of this one.
Yeah, and even though, just an interesting fact, even though Snute has lost so much, he had enough larvae on his hatcheries to be able to continue the production, and he has a couple of mutas on the map. Oh, such a huge Baneling hit in the natural, cancelling a lot of Baneling Morse for Nerchio, and now a lot of damage being dealt to the Polish player. And will it be enough though? What do you think?
Well, it looks like we're going for some sort of base trade. Mutas tend to be really good in the base trade situation. The issue is there's only 3, I believe, on the map. 4th on the way. No, there are 6. So he'll have 7 Mutalisks in this kind of a situation. But Nerchio seems to be holding pretty well. He's got 4 queens. I gotta call this game for Nerchio. Yep, and Snute agrees with me as well. GG.
And we have exactly what you said. GG, and Nerchio claims the first victory in the series. This is a best of 9. And remember guys, if you follow us on Twitch, if you watch this, at the end of the show match we will have a free Heart of the Swarm giveaway for you, a full digital game copy, just because we think you're awesome, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, and you deserve better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we nailed it. Right guys, so we'll be back after a short break and let the players choose the next map. We'll see what it is going to be. Alright, and the game number 2 is here, guys, and I think this beats the point of selecting colors on our overlay for the players because they fool around with it and change it from game to game. So anyway, let's introduce them. The map, of course, is going to be Antigua Shipyard, a very good map, and the players are even better than the map itself, and that says a lot. So here, spawning on the left side of the map, it is Liquid Snute.
And on the right side of the map, he's up 1-0 against his opponent. Can he finish it out with some more games? It's Acer's Nerchio.
Alright, so there has been some tension in the lobby, guys, between Nerchio and Snute. Nerchio has the tendency of... he's usually trying to terrify his opponents, or if not terrify, then sometimes bully. I think he's a great player, and some of people just say, ah yeah, he's fooling around, and they don't mind that. But for the players that are not so familiar with Nerchio, it can get pretty rough, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, I mean psychological games have always been a part of almost all sports. I mean, even things like chess, there are all kinds of psychological tricks, little things like tapping on the desk. I will break your glasses,
you nerd, after this match if you win.
No, I mean, even less subtle stuff, like when it's, because you know, certain points in chess, when it's very, very intense, they'll do something very small, just like tapping a pencil on a desk, and it can mess with the other person's decision making.
Oh, is that so?
Small things like that. Yes, yes.
Oh.
At the highest level of chess, a lot of mind games and stuff like that.
Maybe we should switch to chess commentary. I think we will do pretty well. Will he move that pawn? It's the 8th hour of waiting, and if he does that right now, it would be so huge.
Yeah, I would love to be a better chess player. I don't play nearly as much as I'd like to. It's a very, very enjoyable game.
Yeah,
a lot more exciting than people make it out to be.
Yeah, I think it's kind of underappreciated, but then today you kind of expect games to be flashy, have explosions, fancy physics, nice
explosion physics chess.
Yeah, well, there was a game like that, believe it or not, on the Amiga 500 system. And it was called Battle Chess, so when a pawn would attack the tower, he would just place a bomb next to it and it would explode. When the tower moved, it changed to a giant clay monster, and, you know, let's say the tower just has just beaten the queen, so it would just eat the queen alive. Knights would cut the king in half. I mean, there was blood and guts everywhere. It has been all done on 8-bit graphics, so... As you imagine, it wasn't as good looking as StarCraft is, but that was the best chess game I ever played in life. Nothing came even close.
Both players just buying that 100 gas, and oh, actually, Snoop back in the gas, in the gas. So it looks like maybe he'll be going for that Bailey Nest again.
A nice defense by Nerchio. I mean, not a big issue, but he may have lost a drone or two. Sometimes it happens, and it throws you a bit of balance, especially if you have your build optimized to be able to say, ah, yeah, I mean, I'm going for this attack at 10-minute mark, and if you lose 2 drones, then your attack may be a couple of units shorter, or maybe a half a minute later. So those small victories at the start of the game tend to add up in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, absolutely. We got the speed done for Nerchio. Is going to be running across the map, see if he can get anything done. We have a big drone round coming in behind it. 6 Zerglings on the way for Snute in defense.
Well, Nerchio is producing Zerglings. He saw the incoming wave, but he will still lose quite a bit of drones. So let's see. 0 for now. Nerchio with extreme defense. Wow, I'm not even sure how he did that. He had to pull away every drone that has been heard, but Nerchio has been known for a great drone microing before.
Yep, really nice defense from Liquid Snute there, from the attack. And Spinecrawler down for Nerchio. As the counterattack, it looks like it's coming in from Snute, so it'll be very back and forth. Banglings coming down for Snute. The Bangling Nest not even done yet for Nerchio. It's a little bit later. Generally, the Bangling Nest gets finished around 6 minutes 15, 6 minutes and 30 seconds. It's going to be a little bit late.
Right. So So right now, Snute is attacking, but then before the attack actually reached Nerchio's base, you know, the defender's advantage was great enough. And this is the problem with ZVZ. If you go with a counter-attack, you better make sure you have so many units you can flood the enemy, because if not, then what you'll end up with is just lose your army, because by the time you reach his base, he will just have enough units of his own. Oh my god, did you see that?
Wow! In the middle of the map and everything is dead.
I just randomly clicked there because I thought I see a couple of red dots, and oh, I think Nerchio right now is very unhappy by what just happened. It was a perfect timing by Snute. He hid behind the smoke here, and the Zerglings didn't even have the chance of noticing it. Will he camp out with a couple more? I don't know, but
big drone round, actually. Big drone round from Nerchio, and then a big lot of points coming out of Snute right now.
Yeah, and Nerchio is doing a run by, but Snute predicts that and defends it perfectly. Now, where are the banelings of Snute? I think he doesn't want to move with the banelings too far away from his army. That was close. That was
Nerchio learned his lesson. He's not going into the smoke.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not only smoke that hurts you, it's actually a lot of acid and explosions behind that, and physics. Yeah. This is why I love StarCraft more than chess. But then we have a run by Snute, and he almost manages to take down the spine crawler, but it's not enough, and Nerchio defends it. But I think right now, let's just see, what is the army supply? Yes, no. It has been a yes for a second there, but now it's all equal again. So both Nerchio and Snute doing very well, and a very active ZVZ for that it is.
Yeah, we're gonna move into the mid game, and both Spires are gonna be finishing up, so we'll have some Muta versus Muta. We'll be able to tell if they're planning on moving into something like Roach Hydra, or moving into something like Infestors, based on what kind of upgrades they get out of those Spires, if they get any at all. We're just going to have to wait on that, and the gas is banked up for both players. And yeah, we have the Carapace coming out of Nerchio, so it looks like he's committing to the Mutas for quite some time now.
I think both of the players will commute. You know, if you say commute, that means they will be doing a lot of Mutas. So anyway, in ZVZ nowadays, Mutas are so important because of the health regeneration, and also because of the Infestor change that their attack, the fungal growth, is now a projectile. Infestor is no longer an extremely viable defense for the Mutas, because you can, if you get fungal, you can just fly away like a nice little bird and regenerate your health easy peasy. Now, it's a
much riskier play with the Infestors than it used to be, definitely.
Yeah. So usually what the players opt in is try to get some drone advantage, which will end up with getting them a Mutalisk advantage later on in the game. And this is why ZVZ recently has been so much about Mutas versus Mutas. And let's see what the Muta count is. It's more or less equal, 11 versus 10, not a much, not a big difference. So in the scenario Mutas versus Mutas, the critical aspect of going into such a battle is to have ground support. And you will say, what? Ground support for Mutas versus Mutas? Why would I care for that? Because the Mutas do this bouncing damage, and if you have Zerglings supporting your Mutas, the bouncing damage will just go to Zerglings, and it will soak up some damage, allowing your own Mutas to do even more. This is why...
Absolutely. Yeah. Very, very effective method to be going about. The other really big thing is getting the defense upgrades, the armor upgrades, instead of the attack upgrades. Makes a huge difference in the battles. For all of you newer players out there, just go ahead and get that defense upgrade instead of the attack, and you're going to win a lot more of your ZVZs.
And Snute has I think, maybe not a huge, but he has a lead in terms of the upgrades for his own Mutas. No, sorry, he doesn't. Oh my god, I'm sorry. What he has is the advantage in numbers. So in a second here, he's engaging before the upgrade finishes. That can cost him the victory, especially considering the fact that there are Zerglings of Nerchio right down there. But it seems the number advantage has been just barely enough. Still, a lot of Zerglings will soak up all the damage, and eventually Snute may need to back away. No, he stays here and he fights on. Wow.
Yep, Snute did not have the upgrade advantage there during most of that fight, but he just had the raw numbers that allowed him to take that attack successfully.
So right now, a huge wave of Zerglings making its way across the map to meet their fate in the arms of Nerchio. We will see how it goes. It seems that Snute has he just has the raw number advantage, and many more mutas for Snute here. Nerchio on the backside really trying to get up, but then there are no Zerglings for him. The queen gets cleared, and we have a GG, and Nerchio being ballsy in the lobby, saying he'll be playing random because it's so easy. It doesn't seem so easy anymore now, does it?
Absolutely not. Really great play. Pretty standard play for Heart of the Swarm. A lot of times that's that muta versus muta is what we're gonna see.
Yes, exactly right. By the way, having the opportunity, I would like to give a shout out to all the admins on the chat, Kraku, Trist, and Sepi Gaming. You guys are doing an awesome job directing all the people that are watching us right now and giving them links and guidance. That's so awesome. I'm just taking a glance at the chat from time to time, and as soon as I want to type in something, I already see you did that. So you are even better than reading in my mind. You do things before I even start thinking about them. So, a big heart for you. Anyway, guys, we'll be back in a second with another epic match. Don't go anywhere. Alright chaps, are you ready for some more ZVZ action? And by the way, this is the only proof that we need that Heart of the Swarm is bringing the long-awaited changes to the StarCraft 2 universe and the gameplay, because ZVZ has never been so exciting as it is right now. Would you agree with me, Jack?
Absolutely. I think ZVZ gets a bad rap a lot of time for being sort of like this dull matchup that not a lot of different strategies can happen, but there are all kinds of different strategies that you can do. And a lot of people will say like, oh yeah, well, now it's Heart of the Swarm, now it's just mutas only. That's not actually the case. A lot of players, once the players get better, there are going to be players who are really good at that skill shot with the Infestor.
Yes.
You can go into Roach and Roach Hydra, do some timings and stuff like that. Nerchio was doing that in IEM. It's just a lot more interesting. There's a lot more choices, despite something like Terran versus Zerg having more options than maybe like a Zerg versus Zerg matchup. But there's definitely an improvement over Wings of Liberty.
It always happens with mirror matchups that sometimes they may get. Well, they will get pretty much the same in terms of the unit composition, but I wouldn't say that ZVZ has turned out to be exactly like that. So, like you said, the Infestor, players will eventually get better with the skill shot, which is it has a longer range now, and it takes some practice to get a skill shot landed on the Mutalisks, which are now faster. And the reason why people play so much Mutalisks is that it seems to be the strongest unit in ZVZ right now. But then it's not so simple. So it's not just, okay, let's just mash them together and see who wins the battle. No, because the timing on the upgrade is extremely important. Then the drone count before the big battle happens is also very important, and if you manage to snipe out a couple of drones, you get a nice advantage in Mutalisk count, as we saw Snute do in the last game. And then the fourth factor here is the advantage that the Zerglings give you. So you naturally produce a lot of mutas, a lot of Zerglings, and then you need to make a decision. Okay, do I want to do a run-by with the Zerglings, or do I want to keep them with my mutas? So anyway, there's an
attack coming in. That was a really early pull. I didn't get the exact count on it, but there was an early pull from Nerchio. It's before the Overlord. So this is going to be kind of intense. See if he can take out this hatchery and secure himself the advantage. He's got 5 more seconds on that spawning pool.
Yeah, and 8 Zerglings, that's actually a lot of DPS, and Snute, I'm not sure that this has been a good idea. I think that keeping this hatchery alive was a miscalculated decision, and he will lose it right away, off the bat. Such a huge loss for our good friend Snute here, and Nerchio inflicting some heavy damage to start the game off.
Yep, Daybreak usually a map where both players in most matchups are happy to macro up, so Nerchio may be taking advantage of that, saying, yes, he'll probably go for the hatchery first, I'll do an early pull to throw him off. And he's got a lot of damage done there, so great job for Nerchio.
Yeah.
And Snute is now gonna have to catch up.
And so let's just think about Snute's decision making. I think that the moment where he decided not to cancel the expansion was the critical one, because he saw 6 Zerglings, and with 6 Zerglings, I imagine he may have defended that expansion and kept it alive. But then 2 more came, and that's something that Snute didn't count into his game plan. And 8 Zerglings was just too much damage, and the expansion wouldn't hold for long enough.
Yeah, he probably had a lot of experience being able to hold early pools, but just a slight miscalculation, that's it, the hatchery's gone.
Yeah, but then it's worth mentioning that Snute has 22 drones, while Nerchio has only 19, so Snute has a drone advantage here, and I'm pretty sure that he'll be able to get back into this game. So even though he lost the hatchery, it seems a great loss. The amount of drones that he has, more than his opponent, should be enough to keep him alive, and this is basically all about 10 pull. So people will say, oh yes, if you go 10 pull you surrender your economy. Yes, if you win something then you win nicely, but then you need to remember that your economy was late in the first place. So it's all a nice balance of decision making and practice, and just how do you actually executed during an attack.
Yep, and the Baneling Nest is going to come in first, so he's going to try to take a tech advantage here to claw his way back into this game. It's definitely a great move to make. Nerchio just building a lot of Zerglings right now. He's pretty well saturated, not fully efficiently saturated on his bases, but he's got a pretty decent drone count. And Speed's going to finish. He's going to make a follow-up attack to this with a lot of Zerglings with Speed. Right about even though. Snute's been keeping up with the counts, and he's got just about the same amount of work workers.
I am kind of worried since Nerchio doesn't have a Baneling Nest. He's only now making one, and Snute already has a couple of Banelings, and if he manages to surprise Nerchio, this will be huge.
Oh, loses a nice little bit of micro there. Picks off a Baneling. Gonna pull back for now. His Baneling Nest is almost complete. About 30 more seconds.
So will he try to hide inside the gas?
He's got a couple of spine crawlers on the way, so you should be able to delay this long enough where he can defend. Manages to take a pretty decent engagement, but he doesn't pull back when the Banelings get there, and he's in a lot of trouble.
Snute had the number advantage in terms of his Zerglings, and now he'll just be trying to micro. Oh, a nice Baneling blow. And this is exactly what Snute needed. Now, will he manage to transform this situation into a bigger advantage, or will he just throw all of these units away trying to deal with that spine crawler? What do you think?
I think that Nerchio's going to be able to hold here with these. Oh, unless he moves the queens and they get directly into the main. Unless that happens. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Oh no.
Wow.
We'll lose a lot of drones here.
Snute has kind of tricked Nerchio. Well, first of all, he just blew up Baneling in the face of all of Nerchio's Baneling, so that's a big win. And then he has tricked him and just run into his main. So a couple of, oh, I misclick here. A couple of drone kills, a small advantage for now, but in the background, you know, 8 drones killed advantage, that's a lot in ZVZ, and it should give Snute enough space to go and switch to Mutas now, or maybe even go for an all-in with even more Zerglings. But I think, you know, that such an all-in would be a good idea right now.
Yeah, Snute's going for the lair, and he's picking up all of his gases, so probably a transition into Mutas. Actually, both players are, so early game is over. They decided, okay, we've traded blows, time to move on to the mid game. Very likely going to see some Muta versus Muta. Nerchio has a lot of Overlords out on the map right now. Should probably be pulling them in relatively soon, as the Muta transition is very likely.
Yeah, and we're around the 11th minute mark. This is exactly when a Muta transition happens, but by the way, Nerchio being slightly sloppy with his gas timings. When he, not gas timings, but when he sent the workers to the gas geysers, it has been a little bit late. That may cost him a Mutalisk perhaps, or just delay a bit. Now Nerchio opted in for an expansion. The same goes for Snute, and now we are into this exciting phase of the game where there will be a ton of run-bys from both of the sides, and also, oh my god, did you see 28 Zergling produced by Liquid Snute right now, and Nerchio doesn't have enough to counter that. Let's see what he has in stock. Not much. And Snute going for a Spire, so Snute is choosing this moment to a transition, and Nerchio has just completed his lair. Oh, a couple of nice blows with Banelings. That's nice.
Yep. Tried to get a little bit of damage done to that third, did Nerchio, but good defense from Snute, and we're going to be... it looks like he's going to go for it again. He's gearing up to try to get another run by into the third, but there's a lot of Banelings. Got 3 Banelings and a bunch of Zerglings hanging over there with 4 in production, so
Snute
I don't think he's going to be able to get any damage done.
Right now, I think Snute is just trying to prevent his expansion from being taken down, the fifth one. Would you agree with that?
Yep. Yeah, he's doing a great defense, and you can see the entire mass of Overlords on the map moving back into his base. Nerchio knows it's time for the Muta, and he's timed it out well.
And are there enough Zerglings? I think Snute has the advantage because Nerchio was forced into some additional drone production to keep up with his army production, and thus Snute may end up with slight advantage. Oh, nice trade.
Nice trade on the Banelings there. Oh, we might get a 2 for 4 here.
Okay, 2
and
for
2 for 2. Oh, that was really close. That was really close to killing a lot of Zerglings there. Snoot's going to back off, and the Muta transition is complete. The Mutas are coming out right now.
And this shows exactly why Zerg vs Zerg is being called a knife fight. This is basically what it is. The reaction time on the players needs to be so fast, so damn quick, that sometimes it's even inhuman. And oh, we have a lugger. Well, yeah, it's the day of the launch, so you can expect some rough times on the servers. I think, you know, that these guys are just pouring water on the servers, trying to stop them from catching flame right now. I'm quite sure that's that's what they do.
Yep.
By the way, a nice story.
Moving the servers outside into the snow because it's so cold out there. They need to keep the servers nice and cool.
I just wanted to say exactly that. There has been an IT story I read somewhere because, you know, I come from an IT environment. So there was this server room where all the cooling got frozen. But anyway, let's talk about that later on. We have a nice mute account, and Nerchio having a ground advantage of many Banelings and Zerglings. And even though with the superior mute account of 16 of Snute, he may not be able to deal with what Nerchio has to throw at him. And Nerchio going for this run by, but then all the Banelings get picked off, and Snute defending this nicely, again, not losing this expansion. So what I wanted to say earlier, just really quickly to wrap it up, there was a story that, you know, in one of the server rooms in the US, they had a problem with the cooling system because it was so cold outside that the cooling system froze. So what they did is just open the doors outside to make a lot of fresh air, and there were like 5 dudes standing outside keeping their doors open, making sure that the servers stay cool. But you know, it's one of the urban legends of IT stories. Maybe true, maybe not. But anyway, yeah. Back to the game.
Snute with the Mutalisk advantage as far as numbers go. The upgrades timed out just about the same. Actually, Snute's moving on to get an attack upgrade instead of a second defense upgrade, which is pretty interesting. A little less expensive on the gas, so he'll be able to put out some more mutas, but generally speaking, it's not going to match up as well as if he got the second.
Oh,
and this is it. This is the big battle.
Let's see how they go.
Transfuses coming down. The support of all the ground units underneath is really helping Nerchio. Fighting on your opponent's side of the map generally not going to go well for you unless you're in a big lead in a Mutaverse Muta battle.
And I think Snute made the right decision of pulling back, because if he stayed, he has the superior mute account, so you know, staying might have won him the battle just by an inch. But if he pulls back and gets some more reinforcement, that actually makes his victory secure even more.
Yeah, and it looks like he's putting a lot of pressure, so he can take this 4th base in the middle of the map. Why do you think why do you think this base in the middle of the map and not the one that's further up and to the left?
That's actually interesting, but then I would say that with having such a mobile army, it's just easier for Snute to defend this, because he will be able to quickly swing around with all of his mutas to defend it. That's my guess.
Absolutely.
All right, so Snute, yeah, go on.
Yeah, here we go. This is the absolute giant battle. It's pretty much everything's even. Oh, Nerchio getting a little bit sad.
Oh.
And he leaves the game. Oh no.
Such a good player, so bad manners. I don't think that ZVZ sucks, to be honest. I think it's ingenious now. And you know, probably will change a bit with the players discovering more and more options, but yeah, it's I love it. I don't know, you guys love it? I think you love it. There are 500 of you watching, so it kind of says that you love it.
Yeah, I really enjoy ZVZ. I enjoy Zerg in general. I regret many times choosing Protoss as a race, because Zerg is so much fun.
Alright, you can join the lobby. By the way, guys, a quick information for you. If you're watching this live, and if you're watching this live, I'm cheating on my wife. Yeah. If you're watching this live and you want to win a Heart of the Swarm copy because you don't have one yet, maybe you want one for your friends or family, or just to convince your girlfriend that you know, bugs can be cool. What you need to do is to follow us on Twitch TV and just watch it till the end of the show, because at the end of the show we'll be just giving out one free copy of Heart of the Swarm to one lucky bastard from the chat, and we will see how it goes. I mean, we already handed out one. We'll be handing out even more this week. There are a total of 15 copies for you. Think about how sick that is, and that's all because we love you and you're such a good audience. So
absolutely.
I wanted to add one more thing. What was it? Ah, yes. So if you think that, yeah, the odds may be not in your favor, I think they are. I think the odds are very much in your favor because, you know, we don't have thousands of viewers watching us, only a couple of hundred. So with 15 copies, that increases your chances of getting a HotS War copy significantly if you watch it throughout the week. And by the way, you can still go to youtube.com/Yegwen. You can go to Twitter @Yegwen. You can go to Facebook, surprisingly @Yegwen, or you know, just follow us here. And there will be an additional prize drawing if you didn't get one during the live shows. You will most definitely get one. Sorry, not most definitely. If you if you are lucky, I didn't just promise 5,000 copies of Heart of the Swarm to everyone watching. Most definitely not. I said I will tell a lie before that. Yeah.
You
So,
did a good job.
dear Honor,
through on your work.
yeah, dear Honor, I pronounce everything that I said. I think I should have said denounce, but hey. So anyway, we're waiting for Nerchio to join the game, and you guys just go out all crazy and subscribing, because that means a lot of free Heart of the Swarm copies for you, and even more awesome StarCraft 2 content.
Right.
Okie dokie. Alright, so the map is going to be the Belshir Vestige. Or Vestige. You said it's spelled, sorry, it's pronounced
Vestige, yeah.
Vestige. Yeah, see?
Yep.
I'm picking up things. I'm not as dumb as I seem.
You're not dumb at all.
Well, some would argue. Especially, I made a very stupid comment last game where I said, I think that Snute will be trying to defend his third base, don't you think? Yeah, he better be if he wants to win the game, duh. What I meant then is he'll be trying to prevent Nerchio for getting any run bys and just actively move around the map. So, having that explained, let's introduce the players again. If you have just tuned in, this is Yegalis TV Showmatch series. With me is the Jack Attack, who I'm sure you can find and follow on Twitter and Facebook, and all services are alike. But here, spawning in the left top position, it is Acer Nerchio.
And in the bottom right, he's going to probably build some Utilisks. His name is Liquid Snute.
Yeah. Did you ever wonder if Zergs use handkerchiefs?
Actually, I believe that they use anti-handkerchiefs. As the more gooey and icky they are, you know, they kind of thrive in that environment. So they actually have handkerchiefs that don't like soak up the goo, but just sort of spread it around, so that they can be nice and slick and aerodynamic in space.
Oh,
Yeah.
you are too clean. Here is some goop.
Quick, goop you up. You're too clean. You're a Zerg. Zerg aren't supposed to be clean.
And you can almost imagine the mother queen sitting in a table next to her son and daughter Zerglings, and say, "Son, you look too clean tonight. Go up and goo up. Go back to your room."
Go get in the spawning pool.
Yeah. We're switching to a newer model of spawning pool. The old one is just too clean.
Yeah, it's
By
too
the way,
clean.
the design of some of the campaign maps and the new tile sets, they look so damn gooey. It just made me, maybe not wanna puke, but it made me feel you know, not a pleasant look, but then great design to make that sort of a feeling in a player. So anyway, let's sum up the game. Could you do that for us, please?
Absolutely. So we have the hatch first coming down for Snute, and then the hatch gas pool for Nerchio. So pretty much solid macro action going on, had by all. Gentleman's type of game, handshake. I won't attack you for a little while, you won't attack me for a little while, and then we'll meet each other when we have some forces. So lots of drones being built. And no early aggression, nothing crazy like last game.
So a handshake, turn around 5 steps, and then shoot each other down.
That's right.
That's exactly... I never understand where that tradition came from, really. I mean, I've read all about it, but...
Yeah, I don't. See, I would just shoot early. If you're in a duel, shoot early, then your opponent is dead, and it doesn't matter if your honor is gone. Your
and then you would walk up his body and GG, bastard! But he unfortunately wouldn't be able to say well played. I think you would leave a lot of people shocked with your performance. But it was a strange code of honor, and also one of the things I am amazed. And recently I watched the movie Lincoln, which I think was a great
I wanted
movie.
to see that movie so bad. I heard it was great.
Great movie and great acting. I mean, the guy who played Lincoln, I'm not sure who was it, but
Daniel Day-Lewis. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, he has done a phenomenal job trying to play Lincoln, and he succeeded at that. But anyway, what I was always amazed is during the Civil War in America, why these guys just kept standing in a field and shooting each other. I mean, you know how all battles from the Civil War are portrayed? They just, they meet on a field, they stand on both sides of the same field, and they just shoot. And people keep
That's
falling.
That's why the Revolutionary War in the United States, the settlers of the states were, hiding in bushes and doing ambushes and stuff like that.
They
learned
smarter.
it from the Native Americans. Yeah, they had to fight the Native Americans when they came here.
Exactly right. But anyway, we are not here to discover the America's history anew. We are here to see some StarCraft 2 action, and I think the first decisions, the first attacks of the game will happen quite soon, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. The spawning pool is already up for Snute, and it just started for Nerchio. So Nerchio again with this late spawning pool, is trying to get a little bit of an painting less. God, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, I wanted to cover you up, so we shouldn't mention it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
We're becoming even a better pair of co-caster. We'll be covering each other's mistakes now. That's
perfect.
Yeah, I'll send you some flowers and chocolates.
And chocolates? All right,
yes.
I'm all about the chocolates.
Yeah, I always go for combo breakers.
Combo breakers, very nice.
All right, so yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, so just some sort of skirmishes as far as the game's concerned with some lings. No real damage able to be dealt. Both players playing pretty tight, and we should be getting into the mid game pretty quickly here because the Spire's already going up for Nerchio.
But notice how an active game this is. Even though they haven't traded, it has required a ton of skill because they keep trying to catch each other off guard and trying to snipe, to sneak in a Bailing amidst a group of Zerglings or something similar. And so far, both of them have been very good at avoiding a direct combat. And Nerchio is just teasing Liquid Snute right now and saying, haha, I don't have any Bailings, woohoo! Try to catch me.
Yeah, this is actually a really early Spire. It's gonna finish before the 9-minute mark.
Wow.
So it might catch Liquid. It might catch Nerchio, Liquid Snute. God.
Yeah, if you manage to catch Liquid in the midst of air, I think you would be impressive.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can try that in 0G, but hey.
Yeah.
But this
not
is
expecting this.
Let's just explain that to the viewers. So what happened is Nerchio has skipped the Bailing Nest, and this puts him at a terrible risk, and we will probably see his expansion being cancelled. Yes, so this is the cost of it, but because of that, he was able to go for a faster Muta, and he will have the Muta advantage. So it's something for something, right?
Yep. And it's there's not a lot of things that Snute can do against these Mutalisks right now, so it's a good timing window for Nerchio to get some damage done and probably take out the third of Snute.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and a couple of nice Bailing hits, but Snute seems to be doing quite well in defending this. But then he probably doesn't have enough force to deal with all the Mutas. He doesn't have Spore Clovers too much around the base, and Nerchio is pretty much everywhere by now. I think Snute should have realized that the lack of Bailings indicates faster Mutas, but hey, now Snute has his own Mutas, and well, we'll see what the losses are as soon as it's done.
Yeah, already we have, I think the drones are done being killed for the time being. 19 drones killed by Aesir's Nerchio, whereas Snute only one drone killed for him. So
a round of banings from Nerchio, but picked off by the Mutalist and by this nice spine crawler here. But still, Nerchio being relentless with his attacks and Snute having real trouble defending this all. Because Nerchio is not attacking on a single front. No, he doesn't want to have a capital battle. No, he wants to have a lot of guerrilla run-bys and attacks from side to side. And this is what is the real strength of his gameplay.
Yep, Snute is going to be an advantage now, though, because he's got that third base. He's saturated both geysers very quickly, so he's going to have a lot of extra gas to be able to bring his mute account up and try and catch up to Nerchio.
Oh, and by the way, Snute, even though he has lost a couple of drones, well, not a couple, a lot of drones, he was still able to recover, and the fact that he has kept his third base living for so long.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Speaking of that third base and the whole living thing,
yeah, we need to revisit that.
He managed to grab a decent amount of gas. He managed to grab about 500 gas out of the third base before it went down, though, so that's going to give him a little bit of an advantage as far as the Muta war goes. Nerchio still hasn't mined any gas from his third yet.
Yeah, and right now, so you know, it's a nice back and forth game, and Snute was able to take down that third of Nerchio, and this is the only reason why Snute hasn't lost so far, because Nerchio seemed to be on his move, but then without the third base he didn't have enough drones, he didn't have enough enough minerals to carry on the attack, and Snute managed to defend that, but then Snute has lost his own third. That's a critical mistake right now, and Nerchio is going for the kill with a lot of Zergling support on the ground, but now Zerglings just move away to cancel the expansion again. I'm not sure was that a good move. Yes, it was. Nerchio with superior numbers, he is just able to take the victory straight away.
Yep, he's got superior numbers, and he hit right when his upgrade finished and when Snute's upgrade had not finished, so really great engagement there. Very cost efficient. Nerchio is miles ahead of his opponent. He's got the economic advantage with that third. He's got the army advantage. He's kind of unstoppable at this point in time. It's going to take a big mistake from Nerchio for him to lose this game.
You know what I would like to see is some propositions in terms of, okay, so what is the transition from mutas, right? It's something that players still try to figure out. So Snute with a nice flyby, trying to do some damage, but eventually will suffer some losses in his mutas. Not too much though, because the mutas regenerate quite fast. Nerchio microing that one lone mutalist just to get a hit on the one that had red health. And you know, it seems things are going down for Snute right now.
Yep, and for all you new players who are in this situation, try and chase down your opponent. Just use the hold position button, and you'll be able to attack while still moving with the mutalisks.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And we have a GG from Snute, and this makes it 2-2. So we are going to see at least 3 more matches between the winner of tonight is determined.
That is great. I'm all about more and more games. I want to see as many builds and many games as possible.
No, sleep is for losers. We want to do Heart of the Swarm all night long. So guys, if you just tuned in for this jolly stream, you're watching Yegalis TV. My name is Yegwen, with me commentating is the Jack Attack, and we have a prize for you guys. If you follow us on, well, right here, there's no special place you need to go to follow us. You can just click follow below this video, and you can get a chance to win a Heart of the Swarm copy right after this show match ends. And you know, there's a huge, the odds are big for you to win, and I think it's exciting enough. We love you. This is why we hand out presents left and right. So could you join?
So, I'm on my way. Do you think we're gonna see do you think we're gonna see any sort of variation from these two players? The map is Akalon Flats this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Nerchio, during IEM, he was displaying some changes in style, but will he try to go for something different this game? I'm not sure. We'll need to wait and see, I guess. By the way, there is an anecdote I want to tell you. Talking about the history and war just reminded me of it. So anyway, stay tuned, guys. We'll be starting the game quite soon. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Gigalist TV. I was about to tell you an anecdote, but this guy on the chat just killed me. Will you eat a box of nails if I give you a Heart of the Swarm?
I will not eat a box of nails if you give me a Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, I would say so. You may have some geriatric problems after that.
Yes. Yes, I think that would be accurate to say.
Boxes of nails don't go too well with your system.
I mean, unless you have milk. Like, having a bowl of nails for breakfast is not really that tough if you have milk. But without the milk, that's tough.
So that's assuming there is no milk in the near vicinity.
Well, I assume, yeah. If he's doing something like that, I mean, everyone eats a bowl of nails for breakfast.
Yeah, right? From time to time.
Yeah, you know.
You always experience them twice. So anyway, let's check what the players are doing. It seems there will be no quick 10 pulls, no 12 pulls, no, it will be a standard play. The question is, will they go for an expansion first or the spawning pool first? So, back to the anecdote I was about to tell you all. Back in the days, I don't remember the name of the French politician, but a French politician and his wife have visited Winston Churchill and on the court during, I think, around the period of World War II. And they have been talking, you know, how British are, and they have been trying to do all the pleasantries and all of that. So they had their meal. All of the England's court was there. Everyone was listening to their conversation. That they were about to make politics happen. And you know, there was a random question around the table, and you know, like French always do, they just can't spell age. So you know. They can't say hobby, they just say hobby, right?
Right.
And
yep.
So there was a question to the wife of the French politician. So what is the most important thing in your life? And she said, happiness.
I mean, that's a pretty, I mean, you know, well, yes. That's probably an important thing in that life. Absolutely.
So, of course, she meant happiness, but there was a long, awkward silence at the table before they understood what she actually said. Yeah,
that is quite intense.
Things that happen when you talk with a non-native speaker.
Yeah, there are always those sort of things that that end up happening, those little hilarious moments.
Let me tell you one more thing. It's maybe I shouldn't be mentioning it all that loud while the show runs, but I think you guys won't be offended. So there is this expression in English, sorry to bug you, right? And once at work, I just talked up with my colleagues from my team, and said sorry to bugger you instead of sorry to bug you. They didn't even blink at that, and then, you know, later in the day, one of them said, well, Sebastian, you may want to give it a try and check of what bugger means in the dictionary. And I said, oh, did I say anything wrong? No, well, yeah. Check for yourself, right? You know how British people are with all the diplomacy, and you are quite adept at that skill anyway. So I checked and I realized I have just talked with them about having anal sex. It was a very awkward moment of my life, but they didn't mind that. They liked
very nice,
me.
diplomatic people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
All right.
Hopefully
So
you won't
anyway,
be bugging anyone anytime soon. You'll be all set with that.
I'm giving you back the stage.
Very good. Big circling attack coming in from Nerchio. The Bending Nest is going to finish maybe just in time to defend this off. Nerchio was able to get the speed sooner.
Yeah.
But just by a small amount, and now that Snute has his speed and the Banelings are on the way, he'll pull back for just a bit.
So it was a run-by. Now, the beauty of this, guys, is that with run-bys, you never exactly know what to expect and what is the time. So a lot of this is based on the reading that you get. And by the way, Snute nearly got a nice bunch of Nerchio Zerglings. But nonetheless, if you misread your opponent and you think, oh, he's macroing up, or he's doing a very early transition right now, and if you misread that, you can just be swarmed by so many Zerglings and Banelings that you just won't be able to defend that. So the fact that they are not being killed by each other means a lot about their skill.
Yep. It's a very, very tightrope walk type thing going on. It's very, very difficult to deal with it all. A little bit of explosion on top of the ramp. That was interesting.
Yeah, explosions and physics and post-processing, and the only person that we lack here is Michael Bay.
Post-processing.
Who gives a cheer to post-processing? Yay! You know, and
someone
why
out with a sign at the next MLG. It's post-processing.
Yeah. Oh, and they had bananas. Alright guys, sorry, this is getting too ridiculous. Let's get back to the game itself. Nerchio right now, you know, he just done some poking and prodding, and so what's happening? And is
Come
happy,
with the roach play.
Yeah, and is happy to transition to the roach play, which isn't all that surprising for Nerchio, but he wants to make this even more interesting for us. Roaches used to be standard play, used to be considered a standard play in ZVZ and Wings of Liberty, but then the difficulty with roaches was you couldn't just skip the banelings. You know, skipping the baneling nest is always extra ballsy because you are very vulnerable to any Zergling run by. But if you go roaches and if you transition quick enough, then you're actually safe against both Zerglings and banelings.
Yeah, and he's going to make this push with roaches. One of the cooler things about roaches is that in the mid game you don't have to stay on mutas for very long. You can go directly into roach hydras even if you want to.
Oh.
So a little bit of roach timing over here. He's splitting up pretty well as roaches against the banelings, trying to keep away, but a lot of good hits for Snute.
And
Zergling
it
count is almost
seems
non-existent.
that Snute doesn't have enough. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's got a lot of units on the way, but there's going to be a queen knockdown in the time. Drones are falling. A lot of damage being dealt to Liquid Snute right about now.
Oh, and he's defending with his probes, which is the sign... Sorry, not probes, drones. What a probe would be doing here. Which is a sign of the highest desperation. And I think that Nerchio has just secured himself again with this very extraordinary transition in Heart of the Swarm just for roaches. No.
Yep, absolutely a good move. Making this roach timing happen, and just Liquid Snute was not prepared for it. Ran right by the spine crawlers. GG. Well played.
So I think this has a similar mechanics to what we used to have in Zerg versus Protoss, where Protoss would go for mass Void Rays and mass Air. And there was this sweet spot of timing where if you go mass roach, you would counter the air. And you would say, what? This is ridiculous. I don't have slingshots to throw my roaches at the Void Rays. I need to have a ground army, and you know, the roaches cannot shoot up. But if you would just go for a counter attack, the air force itself wouldn't be enough to deal with it. So I think that the idea behind Nerchio's timings is exactly like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that happened. I'm pretty sure, I don't remember the tournament, but I'm pretty sure it was Mondragon versus Cruncher. And I was watching Mondragon just come in and build roaches, and I was like, what is he building roaches for? His opponent's going mass area, he has void rays. What is he going to do?
Yeah.
And he just crushes them. And I was just like, holy crap! Everything is different now. How do you counter void rays with roaches?
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes things in StarCraft are not very intuitive, guys. But anyway, we'll be back after a short break. Let the players start up the game. Alright, and the game is up, and Nerchio leading 3-2, and looking quite strong. But then this is a very even matchup, even though that Nerchio has been, playing the strong guy and playing a macho in the lobby. It turns out that Snute has been practicing hard enough to beat Nerchio, and here he spawns at the bottom left position of the new Kirk City, or Precinct.
Yep, and over here in the bottom right-hand corner on New Kirk Precinct, indeed, it is Acer's Nerchio.
Right, so by the way, from English, does a precinct mean exactly the same as city?
Precinct, it would be like an area of a city.
Alright, so like a district.
Yeah, that is synonymous. That is
so
the same.
it's like all those differences between English and English. US, UK, between having a trunk versus having a bonnet, having a flashlight versus having a torch, and elevator versus lift. Is that so?
Yeah, actually, I didn't. I knew half of the things that you said.
Yeah. Well, that's probably because I deal a lot more with British than with Americans, even though my boss is American. So hey. So anyway, by the way,
identically timed hatcheries over here.
Yeah, exactly right. So one interesting thing, by the way, is that some of the words between British and American English have been specifically crafted not to be the same. So the people who write the dictionaries, they would say, now we will call this X, you know. and British keep making jokes about it, so I won't feed you up with all of them, but you know, I like you. There's no reason why I would need to offend you right now, but once the show is over.
If you were able to offend me, it would be quite a feat.
No. You won't provoke me. It's easy to provoke me into doing stupid things.
No.
Tonight.
I didn't mean that. I'm too chill.
I just had this instinct in the back of my head. Go on, do it. He's asking for it. Okay, guys, let's stay friendly. So anyway, we have the expansion timing being exactly the same between the both of the players. We have gas timings exactly the same again, and I think speed research will be faster a little bit for Nerchio.
Yeah,
and
Nerchio took the gas just a little bit quicker. He took it right after the hatchery. Swapping the times between the hatchery and the gas in the pool, rather.
So let's talk about the players themselves. I think there is a difference and a different picture we should paint for you guys, because I think these two are quite opposing personalities. First of all, when we think about Nerchio, he is a guy that doesn't pay too much attention to StarCraft, and even though you may see him winning a lot of tournaments, he said, yeah, I practice after hours when I have the fancy, and he's a very irregular and not so even player, but also extremely skilled. And that kind of taunts a lot of his opponents, because they are basically the Snutes of this world, because Snute is a player that has spent countless hours playing countless matches just to become better, just to get to this level. So as opposed to Nerchio, who's just talented, Snute is an example of a hard-working player, and this is why playing against Nerchio sometimes seems so taunting for the players who are hardworking. But then, Snute, I think, has a very strong, you know, personality and a very strong, not physique. How do you say that? Psychology. Thank you very much, Jack. It's a pleasure having you here.
I was trying to figure out what you were getting at.
Yeah.
We have a big Ling attack with the speed coming in from Nerchio. The defense by Snute is nowhere. And gonna get a lot of damage in here.
Oh, holy!
It looks like it's gonna go down.
Holy moly!
Drones are being lost as well.
Not so good. I mean, my good friend Snute, I have just been talking and telling such a nice story for you. Why are you letting me down? Is this a Yegwen curse? Now, let's see. Snute is going with a counter attack, so he managed to defend that. In the process, he has lost 4 drones. Wow! He didn't lose all that much. It actually looked more scary than it actually was. And he has lost the queen, of course, which is a huge blow to his future, maybe not economy, but to his future production. But with this counter-attack, it's still not affected by the queen loss. And it seems he may take his revenge. And this one is also going down! Yes, it went down.
Queen for queen.
Yeah, queen for queen.
Yeah, and the Snute actually still has the worker advantage in a major way, despite the fact that he was attacked. Nerchio sacrificed a lot of economy to make that attack happen, and it was not successful enough to give him any sort of advantage. He's still behind here.
Yeah, it seems so. And let's check the worker count. You gambled again. Okay. No, I didn't. I don't gamble since 1986. Yeah, well, Nerchio may be right, but still, with the supply... So, Liquid Snute right now even has more drones than Nerchio, and this just proves a point. And I think, by the way, gambling and maybe not luck, but taking calculated risks is a huge part of StarCraft 2.
Absolutely. Just the fact that it's a game of imperfect information. You don't know everything that's going on at one point in time. It's not like a game, like a board game of Go or chess or something like that. You have to scout, and you can be tricked by your opponent. They can cancel things. It's very difficult. Nerchio going for the Spire follow-up over here. And as is Snute. It's going to be a little bit behind, so he's going to have to deal with that point in time where his opponent has more Mutalisks than him.
So let's think about this now. It all comes down to the gas count, and these guys are pretty equal with that right now. There has been back and forth bailing trading, but eventually it all ended up being in the same pot. Oh, well, this was close. And Nerchio is taking up this third base, an interesting choice. But like we said earlier, it's alongside the attack path, so at the same time while you're attacking, you're also having your forces defend any potential run-bys. So it's always cool to have it here. And oh, that was so close. All these Zerglings could just blow up in a cloud of acid and dust.
Yep. And whoa, wow, for a second there it looked like Snute had a big advantage, but lost a lot of Zerglings there.
Uh-oh. And Snute has to back away. That was a very good aim, but he just didn't manage to sneak that Baneling through this crack.
Oh, that was some perfect trading from Snute. 3 Banelings for 3 Zerglings.
Wow.
That's really nice. Very cost effective.
It's as good as it gets.
Absolutely. The Mutas now are out though for Nerchio, so this is only going to last for so long. I don't think he has enough to just try to target down this hatchery with all those Mutas around.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
Oh,
so even with Mutas, Nerchio is still not able to handle the pure DPS, or is he? Will this hatchery go down, guys? Uh-oh, and it stays alive. It's alive.
Nice
with 150 points, very close indeed. These Banelings, of course, seeks to do some more damage, but yeah, that's all about it.
Yeah, 12 Mutalisks on the way for Snute, so... but he's not getting the upgrade. He's not getting the defense upgrade.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which is interesting. Yeah, he's going to have the numbers advantage, but the upgrade advantage is going to be for Nerchio. He might be considering making some sort of a transition, and he takes down the third with that quick run by.
Oh, I just missed that by a second. I noticed that there is an upgrades tab now in all on the tabs. That was a gamble too. And staring Nerchio right in the eye with this with his emoticon face. I'm staring at you, so be careful. I'm not so easily bullied. So anyway, Snute has the number advantage, but I always wonder, because there always has to be a sweet spot when you consider going for upgrades. You always want to go for upgrades exactly at the point where, when the upgrades finishes, you will be wanting to use all of your units for a battle, because that's the most optimal point in the game to have an upgrade. Not, you know, late on, because then the upgrades kinda even up, but you want to attack with those sweet timings. But hey, so
yeah.
so
and
we have
he's
a stalemate.
planning on it looks like he's planning on just holding off then until this is done. He's massing a lot of Mutalisks. I don't think we'll be seeing any sort of transition from him. The attack upgrade coming in from Nerchio now.
Oh well, since he already has the armor upgrade, attack upgrade is something you would do, because the attack upgrade cancels out your opponent's defense upgrade.
I'll have to actually test it out exactly how that works out as far as cost efficiency is concerned, because I think that going for the 2 defense is going to be better than the 1 attack 1 defense. But I'll have to go check that out later. Definitely very interested to see it.
We'll be playing Muta versus Muta all night long just to prove a theory of yours. Alright, and the battle is upon us, guys, and Nerchio has some supreme numbers, but it seems no longer, and Snute has been so excited he lagged out of the game. But then with 25 Mutas advantage and some Zerglings to support that, I think we'll be having a very close shave.
Yeah, we're fighting on your opponent's side of the map is generally a disadvantage, because they'll have the Zerglings underneath that'll soak up some of the Mutalisk bounces, as well as the Transfuses. There are 3 queens there that I can see. There might be more. I think just 3.
But you know what?
But
sorry. I'm not worried, because this is Heart of the Swarm, and if Snute just drops, we'll be able to resume the game from replay. Thank you, Blizzard, for implementing that feature. You have my moi, because this is an awesome feature, and there will be no longer any more arguments about, oh, I should have won that, I had an advantage in that battle. No.
Yep. No more drama necessary. We're totally fine. And Snoot's engaging right before his upgrade finishes, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, so anyway, this will be not a regame, we'll just resume from replay, so you can get used to that, by the way. And we will just do that shortly, guys. So in the meanwhile, I wanted to remind you, everyone watching, that you can win a Heart of the Swarm copy after the show match ends and during the whole week, because every day we'll be having 2 sweet show matches with the best of the players from around the world participating and showing you how you should play Heart of the Swarm. And don't you think, Jack, that that's cool enough?
I think that's plenty cool.
Yeah, but to add to the coolness of the situation, we have 15 copies of Heart of the Swarm just to give to you. And you just need to watch us. That's as simple as that. If you want to increase your odds, you can subscribe us at every possible place, and you will be able to find the places in the overlay. I'm just going to show you right now. See you later. As soon as we resume, we'll be back. just to give you a glimpse on how this looks like. Oh, it looks like a big black background for you guys. But what I have in on my screen right now is the nice face of the infested Sarah Kerrigan with some flames from her eyes. A StarCraft 2 logo, Blizzard 2 logo of course. But then we also have this nice bar at the bottom saying recovering. So these guys will make up their minds about the point of recovery, and the game will just keep going. And that's as cool as it gets with Heart of the Swarm. Oh, you say, Jack, that I'm dropping?
Yeah, it looks like you're dropping. We have Yegwen. Time is 5 seconds. Been counting down for a little while now.
Uh-oh.
So.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. So why does it keep saying recovering? The bar just moved. So it seems I have been waiting for someone, but now the love of my life hasn't come. I'll just keep recovering. So give me time. I'm nearly halfway through the bar. It keeps getting more excited.
I mean, generally it doesn't go backwards, which is my favorite part.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm
always making progress. You know?
I'm already past the G, guys. It looks like 70%. 75, will it be? Yes, it is. 80% now.
I predict that it will make 98%.
That's such a bold prediction. How can you
It's
look
going to
at
happen.
that?
At some point in time, we're going to hit 98%. I'm calling it right now. It's going to happen.
And then
we're
we
going to
get
transition
stuck.
directly from 97 to 98%. It happens every time.
That's such a sick tech transition, don't you think?
Yeah, the download matchup is so predictable. It's like, after 98%, guess what? 99% every time.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Yeah, they need to patch that. It's not interesting at all.
when the first mathematicians of the world were discussing the whole system of how percentages should work, they didn't even take into account that there may be transitions. So all are here. Let me just 3, 2, 1, kaboom! And let's see how this Muta battle goes. And Snute retreats. What? He shouldn't be doing it. He had the advantage. Oh, that's not so good, don't you think, Jack?
Actually, I'm actually gonna have to disagree with you because his upgrade was just about to finish, and now it's done. So a little bit premature of an engagement for him there.
Okay.
Pulls back time. Also, just fighting underneath his opponent's queens and zerglings was I don't think was gonna work out well for him.
But will that lure Nerchio into attacking? Because this may give Nerchio a false sense of comfort, saying, "Oh yes, no, you just tried to suicide, and now you have another chance because of the god's intervention." But Snute may be just luring Nerchio in this false sense, and he may engage right now, and it seems he will. Who will have enough advantage. The upgrades are nearly done for Nerchio. If he engages for this with 1-1 upgrades, it will be his battle because the mute account is so close.
Sporecrawler already with 2 kills. Home field advantage certainly goes to Snute, despite the fact that the queens of Nerchio are here. Oh my god, 6 queens with lots of transfuses available. So he's really looking to win this game quickly here.
Yeah, that certainly seems so. 36. Still, mute account is slightly higher for our good friend Snute, but Nerchio having a superior ground support, and all of these queens able to make transfuses. Now the question is, how effective can transfuses be when you have such a clamped up ball of Mutalisk? And we'll see in a second, guys. Oh, the transfuses go off and the battle is upon us. So right now, Snute takes it. Oh my god, I don't believe my eyes. Snute.
Nerchio with a lot of energy over here, missing transfuses.
So this is what I told you, with so many transfuses, well, even, no matter how many transfuses you have, if your ball of mutas is just clumped up, they will keep dying because you won't be able to hit the ones you like with the transfuse.
Yep.
You can almost imagine Arthas from Warcraft 3 healing his units, but it doesn't work like that, sorry. There is no AoE healing in StarCraft 2.
No, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, that's an idea for Legacy of the Void. And Nerchio right now, it seems he is back on all fours, right now and trying to recover, building up the mute account slowly but steadily. And surprisingly, you know, it didn't look in Snoot's favor, and he was able to take the battle. That is so good. And I think, you know, his choice of the moment where to engage was just perfect. He has waited until the Zerglings on the ground were withered enough to not to be as significant as they would be on full health.
He's got his third base up and running now, but very much behind Nerchio economically. The upgrades, wow, Snute going for +2 attack now with the upgrades. The other advantage that gives them, it's not so great as far as Muta versus Muta goes. Oh, but anyways, there's a giant attack line. Tries to get the Spore Crawlers down in time, but it doesn't work out. One Spore Crawler stays up, and
8
Nerchio
queens.
is bringing the 8 queens. Wow.
Yeah, 8 queens to support that, but Snute seems to have superior numbers of Mutas. Still, 30 against 20, even with queen support. Well, the queens are only 3 left, so they won't be able to participate in this battle as much. But Nerchio does a 6 Spine Crawler and burrows it right in front of Snoot's face. This game is intense.
Yeah, Nerchio has brought his home field advantage with him, and going to be trying to make this work out.
And the last skirmish of this match, I believe. Nerchio trying to take the victory. There are some
Snoot's
nice
got way
transfuses.
too many mutas. He has twice
Snute
as many.
has
He
it.
Way more many.
Snute has it.
No. Snute with the victory.
Another taunt by Nerchio, and you know, you won't taunt your way into winning the show match, my good friend Arthur. By the way, I always wonder, because I know Nerchio personally. We have met multiple times really, and I have spoke with him on many different topics, and he is such a nice guy. You wouldn't even believe how nice of a guy he is in real life. But when he gets to playing, you know, he always keeps saying the things that would just taunt or bully the opponents. So I wonder where does that come from. But that was a sick match, guys.
Yeah.
If I were die casting ZVZ, I would prefer not to die casting ZVZ, but if I were, that would be the game.
Yeah, Nerchio is talking about how what he's doing is skill and what Snoot's doing is gambling. Oh my god.
It's
the classic trash talk out of Nerchio. Very awesome.
you can almost, why do I say always instead of almost? You can always, again, why does my brain keep doing this? You can almost, yes, you can almost imagine just Nerchio being this very angry guy at the other side of the keyboard, but in fact he's just this gentle, nice bloke. So I don't understand where does the all, you know, where all the anger comes from.
Yeah, you know, frustration built up over many, many years of StarCraft playing.
Oh, I'm sure. So we have 3-3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is the score, 3-2-3. So, getting very many games in. You get to see all kinds of matches.
Yeah.
Very, very close games all.
Rightio, guys. So anyway, a quick break before we get into the game. So be right back. Don't go anywhere. Can you hear the beating of a StarCraft 2 heart somewhere in the background? Somewhere hidden in the depths of Blizzard's server rooms, guys. This is WCS Cloud Kingdom Ladder Edition. The next map for this evening's ZVZ between Nerchio and Snute. I would like to remind you also that this week we're doing non-stop Heart of the Swarm action. If you tune in and watch the show matches, we'll be having 10 of them. Yes, as many as I have fingers on my hands. And you know, after each show match, we'll be having one Heart of the Swarm giveaway for the audience. You don't need to do anything too fancy except to follow us, and that's it. That gives you the chance of winning Heart of the Swarm itself, for you, for your family, friends, or girlfriend, because I will keep insisting that having a girlfriend that plays StarCraft is the coolest thing that can happen to a man.
Or even having a boyfriend that plays StarCraft, the coolest thing can happen to a girl or a woman. Oh, come on.
I think, you know, I understand what you said, but I think many girlfriends around the world would wildly disagree with you right now. Why do you keep playing games? These silly computer games. Now I know, you know, the best girlfriends.
15%, you know, 15% women play StarCraft right now, and it's much lower than much higher than it used to be. It's coming. I'm serious. It is. You'll see.
This is why we have so many female pro players. This is exactly why.
Double extractor trick. We have no second overlord coming out of Nerchio, so we have an early pull. Getting up to the 12 drones. The overlord, so he's going to be doing some early aggression against Snute, who is going for the hatch reverse. Yes, absolutely.
Whoop whoop. All right, yeah, so you know, people on the chat, let's give a whoop whoop for Snute. I wonder how many people will do that. And we have a temple of Nerchio, I think.
I believe we do.
Well, Snute didn't do all that well in the previous scenario where Nerchio went for a temple. And do you see what I'm seeing? Oh my god, this is going to be huge.
Yep, he's bringing all the drones. This is an all-in. He's trying to make it happen right now.
And
Snute's not really going to have a point in time where it's really safe to do an all-in like this at any other point in the series. He can't afford to lose games after this one. So
Snute cancels, and he knows what's coming, so he'll probably try to spam as many spine crawlers as possible. This is entertaining, says Nerchio, and he just you know, flexes his monocle that he has on his eyes. Well, dear sir, I think I caught you off guard. That's it, build every game. And Nerchio, the sickest nerd bowler of this event, we'll see how well Snute reacts to this, because Snute, remember guys, has been practicing a lot. He's blocking all of the damage, most of the damage possible right now. And oh, this spine crawler of Snute got cancelled. Sorry, it even didn't get cancelled, it was just taken down. And Nerchio, it seems, will he take the game? It seems so.
It absolutely looks like it.
There is last hope for the Imperium, but it isn't the spine crawler because it is dead, guys. And there's a GG from Snute, and Nerchio makes the series for free.
Yep, good time to throw in an all-in. Probably one of his last chances to do it without risking losing the entire series. So very nice for him.
You guys on the chat are hilarious. I mean, I cannot even quote half of your comments because I would get rating. I would get a rating, and I wouldn't be able to stream for so many people anymore. But you need to know that you're good, and if we ever meet on a beer, feel free to drop all of these comments. So, a sick game, by the way. I liked it.
Absolutely. So, I believe they've cycled through all the maps now.
What now? Does the world end?
No, I think probably we just replay some maps, perhaps. Could be wrong. Nerchio, we just won that game. Stick all in.
I think in a best of 9, it's fair enough if we go through all the maps, then we just keep choosing the ones who have been, you know, chosen previously. No problem with that. I just wanted to add someone. I clicked on friend requests and it says 0 friend requests. It hurts me so much, but I will deal with it.
Are you lonely?
No,
You
I'm
don't
not.
have enough friends.
No, I have a wife.
Well, that's a good start.
And she plays StarCraft, by the way.
It is a great game to play. All people.
It just makes your brain bigger. I always wonder, you know, if people play StarCraft so much, and if their brain gets bigger and bigger, why doesn't it eventually explode? You know, that would be a nice show of fireworks and physics in the real world. Could you, do you imagine?
Post-processing.
No post-processing. All, you know, reality shows. So you would
Processing.
You would have 2 booths on the opposing sides of the scene with 2 Koreans playing the GSL finals, and both of them would have their heads bulging and rippling, you know. And suddenly one of the booths would just go, and it would become all red from the inside. I think there is something seriously wrong with me.
Well,
Help.
I mean, if there wasn't something seriously wrong with you, you probably wouldn't be a human being.
Yeah.
So, very good. You know, congratulations, you passed the test. You are a human being. Very good.
No. Hey, anyway. There has to be something wrong with you if you decide to be a caster. Are you in the game? Yes,
I am. Thank goodness.
We are all up, you know. All good fun. By the way, you like my t-shirt? Maybe it doesn't look so fancy on my big chest, but it's a nice Jägerist TV logo out there.
Pretty cool.
There will also be a Jägerist TV logo behind my back as soon as we get the studio better established. Because right now it's only a StarCraft 2 logo, but I will have a huge wall where it will say, here's an advertisement space. Feel free to call this number if you're a sponsor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Gonna see some LGIM back there. You know, see some Razer back there eventually.
Oh yes, I'm quite sure. I'm more than sure that will happen, guys. So you can help us grow. I mean, if you keep following us, if you keep watching us, that would be so damn sweet of you. And you know, we won't manage to keep giving away Heart of the Swarm copies, but at least I think this is a good chance for us to try and convince you that we have a good show out here. And you know, just give me a shout out on the chat if you agree with that. And another temple from Zerg. Yeah. Nerchio, you know, he is feeling restless. He wants to complete the Heart of the Swarm campaign. He said, enough with this crap, you know, and he goes straight for a temple, and this will be a double extraction trick. So I thought if we will go for gas, that wouldn't make much sense right now, but that was just an extractor trick.
A 10 pool with speed.
Yeah, and speed finishes 10 minutes after you're dead because the temple failed. Yes, such a sick timing.
Sick timing.
There was one hilarious game I casted in my life. You know, until today I still don't understand what was it about. The build was basically 7 proxy pylon 4 gate into no expansion and straight up lose.
Wait, 7 proxy pylons?
Yeah, the guy just started spawning pylons all around the opponent's base, and when his 4-gate finished, he didn't have enough minerals for his own units. It was the weirdest game I have ever casted, and I can't get it out of my head really.
Yeah, and we have the same build from Nerchio here, and the same build from Snute. So let's see if history repeats itself.
Well. And Snute doesn't see. What is he doing? Why didn't it? What? Why didn't Snute put his Overlord in the middle of the map? That's what you normally do to prevent this from happening. But no, Snute knows better. So we'll see how he reacts to all of this. And
he did manage to see it with the Overlord in the main base.
And the expansion doesn't see it either. So Snute has been caught completely off guard, trying to put some spine crawlers in the back now, but
really good surround from Nerchio, and Snute is gonna run away. Hopefully buying some time for those 2 spine crawlers to finish up.
Nah.
He's got 2 spine crawlers and some zerglings. Still needs another 10 seconds. I think he's gonna get 10 seconds to finish that up at least.
Oh my god.
Whether or not those spine crawlers will be able to do anything about it.
If Snute defends it, he very nicely utilizes the fact that the workers just... Oh, and he managed to kill off... Wow! He managed to kill off this 1 spine crawler from Nerchio, so he's still in the game. And Nerchio
so he's going to lose his natural, but... no, he's not going to lose his natural, just spine crawler push from Nerchio. But, Snute very aggressively placing that spine crawler out there.
Well, will it
creating some risk, but I think he's going to be okay. He's got a lot of larva where you can make zerglings. The 2 spine crawlers just going at
Nap. So ridiculous. But Snute looks like he's going to actually hold this.
Yeah, it looks like he's okay. He can just stay next to his spine crawler, drone up.
And
GG from Nerchio.
Oh, and this will be a full best of 9 series. The best, really guys, this is the best Zerg versus Zerg series I have casted in my life, because this is a ZVZ in Heart of the Swarm, which is such a good game. Now, Snute, I think he has played this at Masters level at least, and I'm not talking about the league. I think he has just mastered the situation here. I'm impressed.
Absolutely. That was a very nice defense, and he managed to just distract long enough to get those 2 spine crawlers up and hold the attack. So well done, learning from the last game.
All right. So anyway, guys, this is the moment where I would like you to type in the feedback you have for us, because we like to know if you like the show or not. And you know, if you are here just to get your Heart of the Swarm copy, that's cool. I mean, you're awesome, so we're just handing them left and right. But you know, if you could let us know what we should improve in our casting, what we should improve in the show itself, just put it in the chat right now. We will read it all. And I already have the invite for the next game.
As do I. Oh, second camera for second caster. Mint commentary is good, so we need to definitely comment about mints more often.
Mint commentary? What is it?
I think it was a typo. Sometimes when you say something is mint condition, very good, so it's a kind of, I think that's what it was meaning.
Right. But, all right.
More jokes from Yegwin.
More nudity.
Hey.
I mean, I'm not sure how effective would it be if I show my boobs on the screen right now.
Yeah. That's something I want to say about nudity. Do you know if Yegwin is wearing pants? No, you don't. You don't know.
Well, I need to explain you one thing. I'm a corpse attached to a chair. I move around the world in my chair. I don't leave it. I don't have any legs, and it's all robotic down there. Even though the ladies are always satisfied. But then it still makes a point that I'm just a corpse attached to a chair. So don't ask me questions about wearing pants, because that upsets me.
Yeah, don't be rude, please.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Oh wait, no, we have the Overlord already. Can't ask you what you think about that. We have the Overlords coming out 9 for both players, so no crazy early pool shenanigans this time.
I think, you know, the last game, it's 4-4 now in this best of 9 series, and they just want to keep it steady. So anyway, I think, you know, from the feedback we get from the chat, I think people are enjoying this quite immensely. And
Yeah.
there's a bright future ahead of us, my dear friend, becoming professional casters. One day we will cast MLG alongside.
That would be mind-blowing. My mind would probably explode on
Yeah,
stage.
so you would be the person
wouldn't
who
be helpful.
explodes, you know? You would
I
make
would
the
be,
commentary booth all red from inside. I would have all of your guts around me, and I would say, "Eh, he told me it will happen. Why didn't I believe him?"
Also, Klonik, I didn't realize Klodnik does. I didn't realize that was an actual question. Yes, I am the guy who played a bunch of games with only Zealots, only Marines, and only Zerglings, and beat Platinum and Gold League players.
Yeah.
And I do drink water from my special bottle. Both of those things are true. Very good. Have it. I'm holding it right now. There's no camera, but I promise you that I've been drinking from it this entire cast.
So whenever you say, "Oh, Yegwin, what do you think about this?" you just go on and have a sip of your water.
Yep.
Is that
absolutely.
a mana potion or just water?
Oh, it's a mana potion. It's a special caster mana potion that keeps my casting energy up at all times.
You know what my colleagues did at work? The sickest thing. So when we have a water disposer at work in the kitchen, they just put little stickers next to the hot and cold water, saying respectively mana, health. So it already
Nice.
had blue and red badge, and they just thought it will be hilarious enough. And we, you know, these things happen when you work in IT. And our kitchen is painted with the theme from Space Invaders. Really, they have spent like a week painting that, but it's all, you know, pixeled and 8-bit graphics.
Really?
Yes.
That is cool. That is
so
really cool. I dig that. I love those games. I like. That's why I like playing the Lost Viking game. Did I tell you I finally got that last achievement just before Heart of the Swarm?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did.
finally got it. It
Like
took
3
forever.
times.
I did it.
Alright, so we have, you know, 2 quick expansions from both of these guys. Couple of Zerglings, not to do any damage. If they do though, oh, such a sweet micro from both of these guys. And Snute tried to lure that Zerglings away from Nerchio, and this one drone was 2 hits away from being killed by its own kind.
And we have the most standard as possible ZVZ, the Baneling Nest coming down at the identical same time. I was redundant, the identical time. And we're gonna see some Ling versus Bane battles.
Yeah, and that's quite standard. Now, I mean, for those of you who have just tuned into the show, let us explain with... some may say, yeah, Zerg vs. Zerg is so boring nowadays. With Heart of the Swarm, it has been adjusted slightly, but that is all the difference in the world, because first of all, you want to hit the Mutalisk timing as soon as possible. Secondly, you want to keep the Zergling production to have both ground support, so it would soak up damage in Muta versus Muta fights, and also use those Zerglings for run-bys. So right now, Zerg vs. Zerg got even better than it was, a lot better than it was, to be honest.
Yeah, and we have Nerchio taking another gas, getting the lair. Yep, taking all 3 gas. It looks like he's doing that early Mutalisk build again. Maybe be able to catch Snute off guard. Snute has a timing now where he can make some damage happen if he recognizes what's going on.
Such a baller, because, you know, so let us explain again. If you go with if you just skip banelings, or if you just don't build too many banelings and have the gas stocked up, you can hit a much faster Muta timing, and that is huge, because it can catch your opponent completely off guard, because he has been spending all of his gas for his own banelings, and now you know, you get 6 mutas and he doesn't get any.
Yep, and to that you can have 2 basic responses. You can try to hit and deal damage before the mutas are out, or you can do what Snoot's doing right now and saying, okay, well, you're not going to be able to attack me for a while. I'm going to take my 3rd and also tech up to Mutalisks very quickly.
Exactly right. So, you know, even though there's not much aggression right now, this, I think, is a very strong technical play from both of these guys.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how it's gonna work out. So little battle in the beginning of the game here. But it looks like Snoot's making his move out now. He's gonna be going towards, I would guess, the 3rd. Yep, he's going towards the 3rd, and he's gonna try to stop it from getting up. Really nice micro against these two banelings.
And he...
Ooh, good baneling hit though from Nerchio. A little bit of misstep from Snute there.
But then, still a good trade, and will he manage to get a cancel? No! Nerchio barely holds it. It was so damn close that Hatchery nearly went down. And now Snute just needs to back away.
Yep, he at least got some damage down on the Hatchery, so maybe some more harassment will bring it down later on. Didn't lose too much to it as far as cost efficiency goes. You know, Snute has lost a little bit more than Nerchio, but he looks like he's going to be generally okay. Nice trades in the baneling there. Not too many Zerglings were killed per baneling.
And Snute is going for it, but he doesn't have too many banelings to support that, and both of these guys are hiding that in the background they want to make Mutas. And
yep, and we have the upgrades and the Mutas on the way.
by the way, I love the fact that now you can just click on the interface and it will take you right to the thing that's producing, the building that you're just clicking. It's awesome. It should be there in the first place. It is
so nice. That, and actually, I think my favorite change is the Nidus and Nuke symbols on the minimap. Yeah. Oh god, that is so helpful.
Look here, it basically says.
So many games of GSL where the observer's just looking around for that nuke, trying to get it.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah! We can't miss it. This is so important, but no longer. So let's sum up the Muta count right now, and surprisingly, Snute has 11 while Nerchio has 5. So Nerchio going for those extra banelings, while he has been lured into the false sense of...
Oh my god, did you see that baneling hit? Oh, that was a huge turning point. So many Zerglings just died. Holy crap. I don't know if I can say that on air, but wow. That was painful. That was really painful. Snute must have been looking somewhere else, and Nerchio took the moment to just decimate the Zergling count of Snute. That is going to hurt the team in a major way. Those extra banelings that he decided to make seems to have paid off.
Oh, so well now. And the reason why you always need ground support for Muta versus Muta is that the Zerglings just soak up some of the damage, and that's good enough to make your Mutas last longer, deal more damage to the opposing Mutas, and perhaps opposing Zerglings. So this is why Zerglings are so important in the ZVZ. But hey, right now the count is not in favor for Snute at all. Nerchio is on the move. And
and he's going to chase him down, going to get some damage in. Turn around for a sec there. He could have maybe picked off another Mutalisk, but he didn't. He decided to play it safe. Getting caught on your opponent's side of the map can be dangerous in a ZVZ battle.
Exactly right.
And a Muta versus Muta battle. God.
And by the way, guys, you know, right now this is so intense for the players because when they swing around to do some harassment, and oh my god, Nerchio catches Liquid Snute. Here. Yeah. Snute doesn't even have the number advantage in the first place, and now he has been caught by Nerchio's army. And will Nerchio go for a third expansion kill? Oh, Snute doing a run by. He knows he's in a worse position than his opponent, so he's going to try to deal some damage right away, ignoring the Mutas in his base.
Here in the Ling. Gonna be dealing some damage. The Queen's probably gonna go down. Mutas on the other side of the map, going into the natural expansion of Snute, dealing a lot of damage. Muta versus Muta battle over here. And the advantage goes to Nerchio.
It seems so. He just has so many Zerglings on the ground, just taking that damage on their chest and picking off Mutas with his Mutas with the upgrade superior. Everything goes in favor of Nerchio right now. I think he might have won himself this game. And we have GG! What a close series, guys. This has been an extremely close series, and Nerchio takes it. 5-4, winning this show match. Now, this is not the only show match that Nerchio will be participating in this week. He will be also taking care of, is it Sage? I think Nerchio will be playing against Sage tomorrow. I'm so excited for that game. Can't wait to cast it. And yeah, so anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this. We will have the promised Heart of the Swarm giveaway, so don't go anywhere because you will miss a chance of getting your Heart of the Swarm free copy from the courtesy of Jägalisk TV. Let me just talk up to the players, let me tell them how awesome the games were, apply some courtesy skills, and we'll be back with you. So remember, stay there because you'll be missing a lot if you go. And since this is going to YouTube, then I can always say that I wanted to thank all the admins, and I wanted to thank Jack Attack, who's casting with me. You can find the links to Jack Attack's stream, I'm quite sure, on the internet and below this video, somewhere on the chat right now. So make sure to follow him on Twitch and on Twitter. He's an awesome co-caster, the favorite co-caster of mine. But I won't send you chocolates instead.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll be back in a second.